Ladies and gentlemen, let's welcome the players on table 1. Representing China, LIN Shidong and kuaiman. And now, let's welcome the players representing Austria, GARDOS and Sofia POLCANOVA.
What an interesting way to begin. An all-seeded encounter in the round of 16 and the mixed doubles competition at these World Table Tennis Championships finals. LIN Shidong and kuaiman against the number 10 seeds, GARDOS and Sofia POLCANOVA. A challenge for the top seeds, certainly, in this best-of-5 games format. For the first time, they meet each other. The top seeds in the competition will have a challenge against this very experienced partnership, the 46-year-old GARDOS, an absolute veteran. This is the partnership that finished second at the European Championships last year. They're going to relish the chance to take on the team that everyone is talking about. Celeste Araujo is the umpire. Congratulations to all of the officials for their selection for these championships. Great moment for them. We couldn't have these championships without them. And now we'll have the toss of the coin and we'll get the contest underway. What a day it promises to be at these World Table Tennis Championships.
I have red or black? Red? Red for you? Black, you won. Receive? They want to receive. You serve this side or that side? This side?
So
who serves?
The formalities
White serves.
are almost over. The fun is about to begin.
White serves. POLCANOVA
Real
receives.
pleasure to have your company wherever in the world you're joining us from today, and I'm really honoured to have the company of two gentlemen. First of all, Gavin Maguire, who is right down there by the table. Gavin, it's day 4. This is an interesting first contest, isn't it?
It is indeed, Ollie, and it's just starting to fill up in the arena here now as we get almost ready for our first match. Very excited to see GARDOS in action. 46 years of age, a real veteran, as you mentioned already, and how many more World Championships will we get to see him? So it's a real treat to get to see him out here on court 1 now.
Real treat to have Gavin's company as well. He's competed at 7 World Championships, so knows a thing or two about this huge occasion. Alongside me is Fraser Riley. Well, Fraser, there will be a lot of people thinking that this could be quite a test for LIN and Kuai, because they're taking on 2 very experienced competitors at these championships with 2,000 world ranking points available for the winners, and most significantly of all, the chance to declare yourself the champion of the world. And that's what LIN and Kuai have come here for.
Absolutely, we're setting the tone in style here at the start of day 4. LIN and Kuai, now of course the world #1 ranked pair. They've been dominating the WTT era so far, winning more than a dozen titles together. Look at that fan vote. A whopping majority of you have gone for the Chinese duo. But look, GARDOS, a grizzled veteran, a former European champion in men's doubles. POLCANOVA is the back-to-back Europameister in women's singles. This won't be an easy test.
They are an extremely canny pair of players, and it is interesting to reflect upon the vast discrepancy in their singles rankings that doesn't translate at all to the doubles table. GARDOS just outside the top 200 in singles, POLCANOVA well inside the top 20 in singles. As a pairing, they do bring the best out of each other, don't they?
They really do, most recently reaching that European Championship final together in Linz, Austria. POLCANOVA playing on her home soil there, had a brilliant event, winning the women's doubles with Bernie Soch as well. So 2 doubles specialists as well as seasoned singles entrants too.
Well, we have completed the work of the speculation department. It is now time to enter reality and see what happens as this first contest of the day begins. Welcome one and all.
First game.
Doha 2025.
KUAI serves to POLCANOVA. Labo. 0-1.
Fraser, the assessment of 8% of our viewers, and thank you all of you for participating in the fan vote, is that Polcanova and Gardos are going to cause an upset. If they are to do it,
1-0.
how?
That's the ultimate question. I think they'd have to have a career-defining performance, a once-in-a-lifetime performance. They've got to make their chances count. They've got to constantly try and hunt out possible attacking opportunities. They have to try and disturb the rhythm. Can't become predictable, not against powerhouses like these two.
3-1.
We often talk about feeling in table tennis, creativity, you know, the ability to finally contact the ball to generate so much funky spin. It's that kind of stuff that if you're a European player, you should be trying to look to do against the almost robotic top Asian players.
So far, so good
1-5.
in the start of this contest for KUAI and LIN.
An unusually shallow ball there from Gardos, very, very spinny. It's a brilliant counter from kuaiman. KUAI, of course, not involved in the singles. That was quite a surprise. Looking to make history here in dubs.
Yes,
1-6.
one imagines that she would have come into this championships thinking, well, I couldn't really have done more to make a case for myself to be part of the singles lineup, but
7-1.
such is the strength in depth, the extraordinary strength in depth of the Chinese national team, that it is very difficult to get onto the roster.
Well said, absolutely. And that right there is probably the showpiece shot in this contest. One of the most talked about shots in the game right now, the LIN Shidong backhand. So compact, yet so powerful.
1-9.
He has mastered the timing.
It feels as though it's one of those shots where by the time you've seen that he's about to play it, that ball's long gone beyond you. There's no opportunity to read. And the reading is not pleasant here for Gardos and Polcanova because they face game point.
10-2.
Still 8 of them to go.
Yeah, it makes life very, very easy for the ball kids, LIN Shidong. It's been a dismissive first game. Similar from what we saw with Wang Chuchin and Sun Yingsha earlier yesterday.
11-2.
Well, that's a super opening game from the top seeds. 11 points to 2 in full control. Some way to go. Still 2 more required. Best of 5 for all of the doubles contests at these World Table Tennis Championships. 11-2 to the top seeds in this first game of the round of 16 in the mixed doubles. The new rankings as of this week, week 21 of the season, and there is no surprise at who is in top spot. They have a very small points advantage at the top of the leaderboard. LIN Shidong and kuaiman in fantastic form, winner of over a dozen tour titles together. Yes, just narrowly sitting at the top of the rankings there with about 1 million points or something like that. They're a joy to watch.
Seriously are. Their big result at the Singapore Smash helped them leapfrog up the rankings. You mentioned, you know, what must have kuaiman had to do to qualify. She reached the final in women's singles there, and the final of the most recent World Cup in Macau.
Second game, Polcanova to KUAI. Labo.
We were told there was a Chinese trial that took place before this World Championships, and for the first time in a long time, you weren't able to watch it. No online footage to be seen. What does that tell you about how seriously they're taking this Worlds?
Well,
2-0.
certainly the Chinese squad, particularly on the men's side, were given a lot to contemplate at the World Cup with that incredible win of Hugo Calderano. Oh, it catches the net cord and benefits the duo from Austria.
Stunning rally here. Look at this backhand from Gardos. Rips it, just kisses the top of the net on the way through.
Both of them,
1-3.
I'm sure many of you know, born outside of Austria. Polcanova in lovely Chisinau, the capital city of Moldova. Gardos in beautiful Budapest. A couple of wonderful historic cities,
1-4.
well worth a visit. But for some time calling Austria their home. Gardos has talked a great deal about it, about waiting 3 years to actually compete for the national team. Oh, well, that's the end of that one.
What happened there?
5-1.
I want to hear more from what you're saying there, Ollie, but look at this. Completely miscontacted off the top edge. Shidong. Yeah, just finishing it off there in effortless fashion.
They've only won 2 of the last 16 points, the pair from Austria.
Let. 5-1.
But he said, Robert Gardos, that he knows he's in the final years of his career as a player. He says he's worked tirelessly to build a career that he truly is proud of. He says when he looks back, instead of nostalgia, he feels the urge to share his experiences, to help others achieve what took him so much to accomplish. And so he's created a table tennis networking group. He's now very focused on building opportunities for the next generation to come through. What a wonderful gentleman to be thinking so strongly about that legacy.
Yeah, an embarrassment of experience when you think about all that he's done on the continental and world stage. I think he'd make a fantastic coach.
7-3.
He is so hard-working. Quite often the last player you'll see in a training hall. And it's always nice to see his son as well come around the world circuit with him, and you can always hear him cheering him on.
Oh, beautiful angle.
8-3.
And a fine advantage here for the top seeds.
What can you do? The push of kuaiman was immense. It was a good spin up from Polcanova. The chemistry between LIN Shidong and kuaiman, it's immeasurable. It really is hard to justify it with words, but they're at a point already as such young players where they don't even have to speak to each other between points. They know exactly how to compensate the space at the table for their partner.
Oh, that is unplayable.
Ollie, I think your chair's broken. My jaw nearly was as well after watching that backhand. How on earth has he found the table with such pinpoint precision all the way back? He's just
11-3.
a different breed altogether, LIN Shidong, especially with that backhand we were talking about earlier. Wow.
This is bordering on the outrageous. They're performing superbly. Stunning. 11-2 in the first, 11-3 in the second. The third might not take much time at all. What a display from the top seeds. The ITTF World Table Tennis Championships Finals, Doha 2025. We have barely begun, and yet we are almost done, potentially, in this contest. And it's not for want of trying
What?
from those two players. It's not as though
Third game.
they've
KUAI
come out there and made a
POLCANOVA.
whole host of
Bravo.
mistakes. They just haven't been given the chance to play, and that's the greatest evidence of all as to how fantastic this partnership from China is. These are not two unknown players that are being dominated. These are the number 10 seeds. This is a top 20 partnership in the world, the runners-up at the European Championships.
They're a big deal. They're a huge deal. But look at this. It's
1-0.
incredible. It is ridiculous how good kuaiman and LIN Shidong are. 23 points to 6 so far. That's the ratio we're looking at.
2-1.
When those two made the European Championship final in the equivalent continental competition, the Asian Championships, it was LIN and KUAI who took the title, and they are taking advantage of the opportunity to show what they can do on the showpiece table, table 1 at these championships. They seem to thrive in the spotlight, which is a good job too, because the spotlight is always on them.
Yeah, the pressure of representing Team China in their national and most important sport, table tennis, is something to never, ever underestimate. And look how well they play. They treat the pressure as a privilege.
Well, this is the closest things have been so far. Maybe somewhat deceptive. We have seen on many occasions how good KUAI and LIN are at racing away with the game. But this is a good response from the number 10 seeds.
Let 3-0.
It wasn't a bad point from the Austrians.
It was a beautiful point. GARDOS serving long to try and help out POLCANOVA so that the tall lefty doesn't have a big compound movement and in and out transition to make on the third
E4.
ball. They started with might, but that backhand block from kuaiman, how she managed to find the crossover of POLCANOVA was awesome.
That's really well played from the number 10 seeds.
Serving with a bit of topspin there. kuaiman popped it up, shallow. POLCANOVA coming right through the back of the ball. Nicely timed forehand flick.
Oh, goodness.
5-4.
He changes the pace of a point in an instant.
If you're a young player watching right now or anyone wanting to improve at table tennis, it's not just about how well you can hit a shot, it's about how
4-6.
quickly you embrace the fact that you need to change something. You don't have much time in a first to 11 best of 5.
Really significant serve coming up here. Yeah, they were under pressure straight
4-7.
away,
Timeout.
and the timeout has been called. Wise decision, because they are only 4 points from elimination now.
Die sind einfach
Gavin Maguire down there by the field of play. Well, this is looking like a very comfortable win, isn't it?
Yeah, it's just devastating play to watch, really. There's no moment here on court that LIN Shidong and kuaiman look like they're out of position, off balance. It just looks like there's nothing that the Austrian pair can do.
It is just one of those days, perhaps, for POLCANOVA and GARDOS. They played so well to get to this stage. Beat Dimitri Levayac and Isabella Lupolescu 14-12, 12-10, 11-7 in their first round match. Beat Matthias Falk and Linda Bergström 11-9, 11-3, 10-12, 11-5 in the second round. Those are good wins for LIN and KUAI. It was Liam Pitchford of England and Wales is Anna Hersey, beaten 11-7, 11-5, 11-8 in the opening round. Second round, Bitsi Mongosi and Pratika Pavard, 11-8, 11-4, 11-3. Only 3 more points are required now for the top seeds. Fraser, do you ever have moments where you keep checking that KUAI and LIN are still in their early 20s and they're not 35? So mature, are they?
I know, it's probably their best quality. As a Chinese coach, you know, such as Xiao Zhan, who they have in the corner, you're looking for players who just don't want to lose. That's the best quality. Players who are meticulous,
5-10.
Players who are students of the game and who obsess over the fine details. That's what KUAI and LIN are like.
Some very well-handled match points, but still 4 remain. The calmness of those two, the maturity, staggering. The win, really impressive. From start to finish, they controlled. They go on to the quarter-final stage of the ITTF World Table Tennis Championships finals, Doha 2025. The dream is to become champions of the world, having won the bronze medal in 2023. 11-2, 11-3, 11-6, a win over Robert Gardos and Sofia Polcanova. What can we say, Fraser? It was an exhibition, a demonstration.
Beautiful play, no stone unturned from the top seeds. What could Polcanova and Gardos do? The quality inside the table, the power once it blossomed out of the serve-receive. Made all the difference. Emphatic finish there with that hook shot. So then they go through to face the winners of Maharu Yoshimura and Tatsuki Odo, who are right now playing the Olympic silver medalists from DPR Korea, Ri Jung-sik and Kim Kum-yong. A potential upset may be about to happen over there on table 7.
That is going to be an enthralling last 8 encounter, whatever happens in that contest at the Qatar University Sports Complex. In just over a quarter of an hour's play, the number 1 seeds are victorious. Kuaiman and LIN Shidong beating Sofia Polcanova and Robert Gardos of Austria 11-2, 11-3, 11-6. Over 80% of points won on serve. Just brilliant. Now then. This is going to be a belter. Chun Shing Tong, the number 3 seed, is taking on the reigning World Youth Champion, Annette Kaufmann. From junior to senior, it's Kaufmann's chance, and we're bringing you it next. Hello everyone, it's great to have your company at the Lusail Sports Arena in Doha, Qatar. We're towards the north of Doha proper, and we've got some proper action coming up for you.